lifelong learning that offers a wide range of continuing professional development courses. Just to add to this point, that we would like to prefer anyone from the audience to ask the questions at the end of our presentation. We will have a panel with questions that will come up. So please make a note and ask the questions at the end. Thank you. Now, continue with our mission. We have fully up to date and tailored to the exact needs of the students of all our programs, enable both graduates and educational staff to be capable of meeting global challenges, not just local. And that leads us to our very good collaboration with Coventry University, which is, we found the need that a large population of students they would like to wish to have distinguished themselves with prestigious Master of Science degree in computer science. Based on that, we of course take into consideration parents as well as the students that they do consider, as we all know, of high cost, and are in favor of prestigious Master of Science degrees from the UK. And this is even more important value, the fact that this can be obtained without traveling to the UK. And this particular program, Cybersecurity, is organized by a highly prestigious United Kingdom university, which is Coventry University, with many years of experience in the field and delivery of the course. And of course, we all know that we hear articles, and the media is full of cybersecurity threats that become more and more sophisticated. So we all need deeper understanding of the challenges that are required. And security professionals are highly in demand in both government and industry. So the particular course, Dr. Panchev will go into much more detail. I just wanted to make a quick introduction into this, that is designed to equip students with skills needed to identify and respond to those threats, and acquire the knowledge and skills needed to work at a professional level. And we help develop a range of industry-focused skills that are really important, and at the same time, just to give you an example, like ethical hacking, secure design, cryptography, etc., as we're going to see. And after having broadening options that will be undertaken that allow our students to gain that knowledge in specialty areas, such as cybersecurity, to become highly employable. They will be very high in demand, as we mentioned before, across the digital economy. And last point here is we are committed, City Unity College and Coventry University, we are committed to ensuring that every student has the opportunity to fulfill their full potential with up-to-date curriculum with the latest technologies. And we're very proud of highly qualified instructors. And the group of our instructors combine their academic career with their professional one. And all that is very important for our students to take advantage of it, exploring their skills and ideas, at the same time identifying their personal and professional goals. I don't want to take more time because Dr. Panchev has his presentation coming up with very interesting aspects and point into the program. We would like to know that we support you all the way and we will be here for you. And saying nothing further, I would like to introduce you Dr. Christo Panchev from Coventry University to continue with our webinar today. Thank you for your attention, and I turn it in to you, Dr. Panchev. Okay.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Christo Panchev. I'm assistant professor in cybersecurity at Coventry University with over 20 years now experience in teaching research and industrial work in the field as well. I just want to tell you a few words about Coventry University as a whole, and then of course, mainly about the master's degree that we have. So, Spiros, can you see my slides?
Yes, very nice, very good.
Okay, excellent. So, Coventry University, well, it's one of the leading new universities in the UK. Almost constantly throughout the years, we have been in the front for various criteria categories as well. So, we've been chosen as University of the Year, for example, for student experience. We are in the top 100 university in the world for international outlook, cooperation across the world. We're number 2, we were, and we're towards the top in outstanding teaching and learning as well. We have the awards and a few others as well. Now, when it comes to cybersecurity, actually Coventry University, it depends how you count it and how you look at it, is one of the first or one of the oldest degrees in cybersecurity in the UK. In some views, actually, it is the first cybersecurity degree that we offered in the UK itself. So we offer both undergraduate and postgraduate master's degree in cybersecurity, which I'll mention a few words about that in a few minutes. Now, the cybersecurity itself, it was developed and it's running within the Faculty of Engineering, Environment and Computing. There are 3 departments in there: the School of Mechanical Aerospace and Automotive Engineering, the School of Computing, Electronic and Mathematics. This is where I live, and this is where the degree is being run. And then we have the School of Energy Construction and Environment. Now we're actually based in quite a cool looking building, I think. The engineering building, which was designed to be quite eco-friendly and looks a bit futuristic as well. It's equipped with a number of specialized labs, including Cisco and the cybersecurity or the ethical hacking lab, the forensics lab as well, with specialized hardware and software in there. And also there is quite a lot of specialized equipment in the areas of automotive engineering, aerospace, etc. Okay, altogether, we actually have over 300 students in cybersecurity at the moment, and the number is growing quite a bit. So, counting both the undergraduate and postgraduate degrees, quite a lively community. They're all interested, highly enthusiastic about the field. We work together with staff and students, not just in class, not just in the labs, but also we're running a club, ComSec club, on which staff and students are very engaged. quite cool activities going on there, quite lively social activities as well that we run together. Okay. I'll mention a few more about this. I mean, this is our building here on the left, the engineering building, and that's where my office is, and that's where the hacking labs and the forensics labs and Cisco networking is as well. We've just started another new building, expanding in order to accommodate all the different degrees. And one good statistic is that the employability of the students of our department, particularly computing and electronics, is very high. Over 90% of the students graduating from the cybersecurity courses, both undergraduate and postgraduate, are within employment within 6 months, or they have continued their studies to either another master's or a PhD as well. So overall, the reputation of cybersecurity from Coventry, cybersecurity education from Coventry, is actually quite well regarded by the industry here in the UK. We're well known and well established in the field. So with that, actually, I'm going to switch more to talk about the course itself, which I believe most of us are interested in. So the Masters in Cybersecurity. Well, the aims of the course is to provide a deep and comprehensive understanding of the current cybersecurity issues, concepts, and technologies in the field. So we're looking at the field as a whole, deriving the priorities there, and making sure that the students are aware of all the issues, and actually they can deep dive into a selected subset of them. Of course, it's not possible to be the expert of everything. However, it is required and it's highly desirable that you have a good foundation in most of the important areas of cybersecurity, and then you specialized in one. And that's the overall philosophy of the course. So we give you the overview, we give you the background. You have to be aware of everything, almost everything. And then towards the end, we give you the opportunity and you work with us to deep dive and specialize in one of those areas, which is most interesting, or the ones that you feel best at, the one that you will feel you will excel. Now, but I also want to mention that we aim to give you the technical skills required for the cybersecurity. So in this degree, we don't just talk about how things are done or should be done. We actually sit down and learn how to do it. Okay, and that is very important. It is part of the philosophy of the cybersecurity as a whole in Coventry University in our department. We want to learn and we want to do things as well, not just talk about this. So as part of that, the technical skills that are required, you will be able to gain those, and we will work with you. Having said that, of course, some students are really mostly interested in the soft side of cybersecurity. They will be looking at management, perhaps, or audit, assessment, etc. And they can specialize in this, of course. You can specialize in the areas of management. However, what we want to make sure is that when you become a manager, you actually know what you're talking about. Don't just pull out the ISO standards or the NISTs and say this is what needs to be done. Actually, you should have seen how that thing works on the ground. And there you can actually, then you can actually speak with authority, you can speak sense, and those beneath you will follow. And that's what we want to ensure with it. Okay. And of course, cybersecurity is a highly dynamic, it is fast-paced development field. Like most other fields in computer science, but this is particularly the case here. New technologies come out all the time. New adversaries using new techniques and new tools are coming up all the time. We have to keep up with those. So in addition to the main foundations, where you step into the field, you actually also will have the awareness of where the field is going to and how things are development, what opportunities are coming out, as well as what further challenges will come out soon. Okay, now more specifically, the learning outcomes of the course itself. We start, of course, and this is one of the first things I say to students when we start teaching in the ethical hacking module, for example. We want to make it ethical before we make you hackers. Okay? So naturally, we want to have your awareness and your knowledge in the legal frameworks, the ethical and professional issues around this. Now, needless to say, in some of the modules and some of the skills you will require are on the cutting edge of what is legal and what is outright illegal. And you have to be aware at any point in time how far you can push the boundaries and what you're allowed and not allowed to do. Okay. Now, having gone through that and having acquired that, we actually move into the actual issues of security itself, starting with being able to assess the posture of organizations, or the cybersecurity posture of an infrastructure and the associated apps, software, etc. Now, I'm not going to read, of course, all these learning outcomes. I just wanted to tell you what they mean, what's the main idea behind those. In the third learning outcome, we aim to learn about secure communications, so networking and network devices, and of course, doing it securely. What are the security issues, how we do it, how we assess it, and how we fix the issues as well. Then we would like to move into vulnerability assessment, being able to assess the security posture of a system, and of course, as a result of that, being able to provide recommendations how to secure those systems. So we're not just interested in hacking the systems themselves. Of course, we want to do that in order to find the vulnerabilities, but we also, based on those results, based on what we find, we want to be able to secure the system. So when the actual bad guys come, we have fixed the issues and they will not be able to find them. Pretty much here. Then we will, so in order to do that, what we want to train you is how to design secure systems. You, as a cybersecurity expert, will often be expected to provide an advice, in your opinion, as to how to secure infrastructures, how to secure software apps, etc., and how to secure the whole organization, including cybersecurity awareness and cybersecurity culture and all that. So as part of the course itself, you will learn about the principles of secure software design, a little bit of development as well, organizing secure systems, configuring setup of those as well. Also, what we will talk to you about in the course is being able to detect the attacks. It's one thing to develop secure systems, you also configure them securely, etc. But nowadays, this is not enough. You have to monitor this infrastructure. You have to be able to detect any intrusions or intrusion attempts. And of course, equally important, you have to be able to respond to such intrusions, attacks. You have to be able to, as quickly as possible, isolate the attack, mitigate the impacts of the attack, clear back the systems, and restore the normal business operations. So this is another aspect that we aim to cover in the module, of course. And as I mentioned, this is a dynamic field. New things are coming up all the time. So we want to teach you the soft skills as well as the actual technical and cyber skills that you will have. You should be able, well, throughout your career, not just when you graduate, after that, you should be able to continuously develop yourself, keep yourself at the cutting edge of the technologies, having the awareness of what is coming up, but also having the awareness of what can go wrong and what issues will be coming up in the future as well. So this is another set of learning outcomes that we're targeting in the course. Now, this was the more or less the formal part of the how we describe the course, but a few more words about the philosophy and the ideas behind it. Now, the course itself, as well as the material inside, is designed as a conversion course. What we mean by this is we are accepting students from the fields of computer science, engineering, mathematics, any relevant degrees, having some technical element inside and having some computer science element inside. And those are students that would like to move into the field of cybersecurity. Equally for professionals, so professionals having worked in networking or computer IT or software development, engineering, etc., who want to move into the field of cybersecurity are the ones that we had in mind when we designed this course. What I also should mention, I've already mentioned it a little bit earlier, is this is a hands-on technical degree. So we will be doing things. We will make things happen, not just talk about them. However, having said that, we don't expect a significant level of expertise when it comes to cybersecurity. We will be teaching you pretty much from the basics in every single module that we have. Okay. So being a conversion course, we don't assume much existing knowledge in cybersecurity. We just need students who, hopefully we're looking for students who are bright and we already have some technical background so they can cope with the material that we throw at them. We will provide you the theoretical foundations of cybersecurity, as well as full support into developing those technical skills that are required. Now, a few words about the practical labs and how the labs are run. Now, well, in relation to COVID a little bit, but as part for a bunch of other reasons as well, we have designed the lab materials so that they can be delivered remotely, or the students can practice on their own machine at their own time, anywhere they want. Which pretty much means and boils down that all of the labs have been developed within the virtual machines. All of the modules, they will have their virtual machines, or in a couple of exceptions, there will just be a simple piece of software that the students can install on their personal laptops or PCs and run the labs from there. Of course, in addition to that, we have all of those VMs and software set up on campus in the lab at the university, and that's where we run the lectures, that's where we run the tutorial and the lab sessions as well. But all that is transferable onto your own machines, and you can run it yourself in there. Now, the cybersecurity degree, the master's cybersecurity degree at Coventry, has been certified by the National Cybersecurity Center of the UK. They are running this certification program. As part of this certification, what they're evaluating and confirmed the benchmark against is the curriculum. So that has been benchmarked, i.e. the material that we have for you, what we're teaching you, has been certified of the quality required. Also benchmarked is the staff expertise, the academic staff expertise. I mean, those who will be teaching, the way we're teaching, the delivery of that, as well as the rigor of the assessment. That has been benchmarked, that it covers the learning outcomes and the materials that we need, and we can rely on this. As part of the degree also, you will be receiving professional certifications, in particular example, as part of the digital forensics course. The assessment of that is an actual ACE certificate for using the FTK software. And that's part of your assessment of the module as well. So if you pass that with the required marks, with the required grade, you will get a professional certification, ACE certified certificate. on that. Okay, a few words about the modules. The overall degree is 180 credits, and what you will be studying is 8 modules, each of them worth 15 credits. They're split into 2 semesters, 4 modules in each semester. So in the first semester, we will be starting with network security, and that module is aimed at giving you the foundation of computer networking as well. So it starts from relatively basic material, going all the way up to designing and implementing secure networks. From that, so having gained that knowledge, we move into the offensive security with the ethical hacking module, where we will learn how to assess the security of the systems and report it and do it professionally, of course. We will also cover cryptography. That is a big part of cybersecurity nowadays, and information security management, which is another foundational area of cybersecurity. In the second semester, we will start talking a little bit more about the defensive side of cyber, starting with the intrusion detection and incident response module. So this module focuses on monitoring your infrastructure, detecting any intrusions, potential intrusions, or already successful ones, and being able to respond to them, mitigate the impact, and recover the business operations. From that, we move into the digital forensics module, digital data acquisition, recovery, and analysis, where I've already mentioned the assessment includes the ACE certificate of FTK, access data. Then we go into the security of emergent connected systems. Now, the idea of this module is that we cover all the latest developments in the fields of technology, in particular from their cybersecurity point of view. So, for example, in current instance, we will be talking a lot about IoT security in this module. And the final module that you will have available in the course is digital security risk and audit management, where we will be looking into assessing the cybersecurity posture of organizations as an audit based on the required compliance with standards or regulations, depending on what type of organizations we have. And in your third semester, final semester, you will be solely working on your project, which is a big piece of work worth 60 credits. And I've already mentioned in the learning outcomes, we're looking at working in the cutting edge of the field itself, addressing either new issues that are coming up or will be coming up in the field of cybersecurity, or assessing new opportunities, new tools, new technologies, any of that sort as part of your project. And this will give you the final set of credits for which you will graduate from the MSc. Okay, I think with that I've covered everything that I wanted to talk about on the topic of the MSc itself. So if anyone has any questions, let me know.
Yeah, anyone can write the message at the chat. We'll try to reply to. While you're typing or while you're thinking your question, I would like to thank Dr. Panchev for the detailed presentation, and I would like to add important notes into that. Number one, you have realized that this particular program is highly accredited and approved and certified by a number of organizations and is highly accredited in the UK and respected in the UK, and we run the same courses here. all our instructors here are certified, are approved by Coventry, and we keep the same level of quality. And we are at the same time in constant communication. We have a very good collaboration with our colleagues in Coventry to exchange all the latest in technologies and all the issues that are related to running the program. And I would like to assure you that all this collaboration is for your benefit, and we are here to fully support you. Um, as Christo mentioned, in the second semester, you will have a certification by ACE, which is one of the biggest security companies and certifications in the world, I would say. And this is part of the course. So you will be certified in addition to your degree and all the other knowledge that you will gain. So just wanted to clarify that. And um, I don't know if Christo, you want to add anything. I don't see any questions. Probably the presentation was crystal clear and we don't have questions. So I don't know if you would like to,
Actually,
to add something to that.
actually, there is one question from Andreas. So there will be no prerequisites for a master's degree.
Oh, okay. I
Depends
see
what
that.
you mean
Okay.
by prerequisites. Of course, we require you to have an undergraduate degree in computer science, mathematics, engineering, or related technical discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if what you mean is whether we require you to have knowledge in the field of cybersecurity, no. And that's the point I was trying to stress. We have designed the degree for students who want to move into cybersecurity from another related technical field. And as far as cybersecurity is concerned, we are teaching you everything pretty much from the basics. Now, having said that, of course, then your learning curve will be quite steep because we want to have you or get you to a good level. However, we're not assuming that you know much about cybersecurity at all. What we need, however, is good technical skills and knowledge. Okay, so of course, when we talk about computer science, you should already know we can't teach everything in computer science. We will assume knowledge in computer science, or at least the skills to learn that pretty quickly. Now, what we also accept as students is someone who has had a different degree. However, they have had some professional experience already in a technical, well, kind of technical job, which normally would require someone with a degree in computer science or engineering or mathematics. Again, what we're looking for is evidence that you can pretty much cope with technical stuff. Okay?
Yes.
And this is partially it is a formal requirement, but partially also it is for your own good. We want to make sure that if you join the degree, you will be able to take full advantage of it. Okay? Rather than halfway through the degree deciding, well, this is not really for me, I can't really cope with this. Okay.
Great.
I hope I managed to answer your question, Andres.
Thank you, Christo. I think that was clear. Um, uh, at this point, I don't know if we have any other questions, but we would like to move on to our panel discussion questions. If we don't have actually, Christo, do we have any? Do you see any other questions? I don't see anything from
I
here.
don't see
Maybe.
the chat. If anyone wants to unmute and ask.
Okay. Okay. At this stage, then let's.
I
We
think
have
someone is
someone.
trying to type into the chat. Might be a problem with access. So just raise your hands or unmute if you have a question.
Yeah, you can unmute and talk to us. We would like to hear your voice.
Okay. Well, we can continue, and there will be further opportunities to ask
Yes.
questions as well.
Okay. So let's move on with our panel discussion. And the first question I would like to ask Dr. Panchev is based on his several years of experience, what he thinks are the major challenges in cybersecurity today?
Okay. Well, there have always been challenges, and there will be, but what we are looking now into the field, and what is most challenging us at the moment is the scale and the complexity of the attacks that we are experiencing. Well, nowadays, we observe quite a range of attacks against our organizations and infrastructure. So starting from the script kiddies, which are mostly disappearing, but there's still some out there. Relatively simple attacks, though a lot of them. We have sorted this out. Now our automated defenses can take care of this. It's no longer a problem or an issue. However, we have seen a lot of significant increase, both in terms of scale and sophistication of other types of attack, in particular targeted attacks. Some of them would include phishing or vulnerability exploitations, including 0 days. And it is simply not enough of us in the cyber defense world in order to cope and cover and be able to protect against those attacks. So the conclusion of that could be, well, first of all, you guys are interested in the right field. If you continue and if you want to go into this field, there is a lot of opportunities at the moment. The industry and the government and the society as a whole needs a lot of cyber experts. And this, so there are opportunities there. And also we're looking into a lot more automation into the cyber defense operations, the security operations, including AI, etc. But we are addressing the problem of scale. The problem of complexity is that now we're observing attacks being more and more sophisticated. Particular organized crime groups, as well as state-sponsored attacks, both cyber espionage or geopolitical ones. We're observing a lot more sophisticated tools being used, technologies, including pretty good mathematical models being deployed into the malwares, or even some AI elements inside. And of course, for that, we need to up our game. Our defense tools are becoming a lot more clever now, but also our cybersecurity experts need to become a lot more clever and a lot more sophisticated. Hence, that's what we're trying to do here in the degree. But again, I have to stress the degree itself will get you up to one point, and on top of that, you need to have your soft skills. So you should be able to further research new developments. You should be able to analyze. And that's one of the things we torture students here, or they call it a torture, but sooner or later they realize that these are actually very useful skills that we have trained them and we have given them, being able to critically analyze a problem, critically analyze a solution or opportunity, being able to research and draw the conclusions of all that will be required there. So that's when I can probably talk for the rest of the day about challenges and opportunities, but these are the immediate ones that are coming up. I can think of.
Great. Thank you very much, Christo. And that leads me to the next question. You already mentioned AI, artificial intelligence. Now, looking at AI, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity, can you elaborate a little bit on the relations and how that is been developing recently?
Yes, that is a very interesting, kind of very hot topic as well. I mean, AI is hot topic pretty much every other area, but it is particularly the case in cyber, and that is actually my area of research as well. I
Okay.
work in applying AI and machine learning into cyber security. Now we see, and there is a room for a lot more development, and there will be a lot of new things coming up into that. But AI can be applied pretty much either in offensive or the defensive side of cyber. A few years ago, there was an interesting DARPA competition where the contestants were required to develop a fully automated, self-driven attacking solution, attacking a particular infrastructure and problem. Maybe you can Google it, guys. You will find some really interesting, cool stuff coming out of there. So that was purely on the offensive side, using AI to attack systems. And we're actually seeing some AI now being used or being deployed by malware and state-sponsored attacks as well. Some interesting developments there. They do have access to good kind of intellectual resource on that. Now, my particular area of work is more on the defensive operations, where we're looking at using AI to, first of all, detect attacks, but also being able to respond to them automatically. And by response, we mean not just isolating the attack and kicking the bad guys out, but we're also looking to recover the systems. And we will talk about this in the course if you join us, but you can also Google it, including XDR solutions, SOAR. These are coming up. At the moment, they're relatively rudimentary. You write a set of rules, and those rules kick in different situations in order to resolve the problems of the attack. We're actually looking into automating and learning and developing the skills for that when it comes to the systems. In particular, interesting is applying those into defense of the critical infrastructure, where we need to isolate the attack and recover the normal system operations within fractions of a second or within a few seconds. So critical infrastructure, we're talking about like electricity power grid or medical environments or telecoms or transport, etc. We just can't afford to slow down human response. I mean, at the moment it works, we're just about managing, but it will have a big impact in areas like that. And what I particularly work at the moment is explainable AI, because a lot of the AI models, in particular neural networks, which are particularly successful, are being used as black boxes. So we deploy the model, and it gives us the response, it gives us the output, the result. However, it doesn't tell us why this is the case or how it derived this. However, this is important for critical infrastructure, where we need to convince the cybersecurity analyst that indeed this is the best solution, this is the best response to an attack. So a lot of opportunities for AI. Some of our students graduating from the master's degree are actually looking into deploying AI models into different situations, different infrastructure, solving different problems as well. And we're relying on AI for addressing the problem of scale in particular. So we don't have enough cybersecurity analysts, and we're hoping and looking to automate part of the job that they have. Okay. However, don't worry, you're not going to be left without jobs. There will be plenty of things to do for a human into the whole system as well. Okay.
Great. Thank you very much, Christo. You already mentioned about employment opportunities that there is a high demand out there for cybersecurity experts, but I would like to mention again the point that you made that some of our students are not really interested in the deep technical part of the cybersecurity. They just want to be consultants in securing organizations the proper way. So that programs gives that flexibility. And in addition to that, if you can elaborate a little bit further in more particular aspects of career paths that someone and opportunities at the same time. Elaborate a little bit more on what a graduate can face after he or she graduates.
Okay. Yes, I've already mentioned, so maybe I can
Yeah.
rephrase it a little bit to present it in a different way. Now, my particular view of cybersecurity is just three main areas or directions where one can develop. One
Mhm.
can develop into the direction of offensive cybersecurity, whereby we use offensive skills in order to assess the security posture for an organization or an infrastructure, maybe on a simple web app, with the idea of being able to identify the vulnerabilities and provide recommendations how to fix them so that we can secure that system before the bad guys actually find that. So that's the offensive side, and that mostly revolves around penetration testing, red teaming exercises, and the like. And then we have the defensive side, or security operations, where we're mostly concerned about the monitoring of the infrastructure, detection of attacks, response and mitigation of those attacks, as well as forensics, network forensics, cloud forensics, mobile or hard drive OS forensics. And then is the third direction where one could develop, and that is in the soft cyber or management style, where we can use, where we can talk about establishing, setting up the cybersecurity of the organization in terms of policies, processes, procedures, compliance with the regulations, compliance with standards, managing the cybersecurity. That's one of the things, for example, we will tell you many times throughout the degree. Cybersecurity is not something as we do as a one-off exercise. Cybersecurity is a living process. It's not something you will set up and then relax and wander off doing something else, saying, yeah, I've done the job, we're now secure. No, you're never secure. You have to continuously keep up improving, monitoring, etc. And how exactly we do that is part of the management's responsibilities as well. Okay, now, needless to say, if you're looking into more into a management direction, that is, there is a less requirement on your technical skills, but still you have to have a good level of awareness, so you actually know how things work and why they work, and if they don't, you should be able to figure out why they don't work and can't. Now, in terms of career opportunities, there is, I keep repeating, there is a high demand, and you can see that. I think one website I usually show to students when they ask me, where can I go, what should I do with this. Maybe I can share my screen. I'll just pull out website. Okay. So there are many other websites like that. Cyberseek is one that I usually use as an example. They have got a good map of the career pathways in cybersecurity. And if you click on them, it will actually zoom in and tell you what it is, etc. And as you climb up, so you have the entry levels, and you can see the kind of skills that you need for those. And the further you go, of course, the higher you climb up in your career, but also the more specialized your skills will be. So, for example, if you want a cybersecurity engineer, that's on the defensive side, setting up the security of infrastructures. Pretty much you need to know across the board of mid-level. You see the feeder positions into the cybersecurity engineers. And then if you look into all of them, you can see the skill levels required for cybersecurity analysts. A lot of our students end up in those types of jobs as a cybersecurity analyst, though they start as an incident and intrusion detection analyst working in a SOC, and they can climb up on that route, audit or pen testing, etc. So that's one example of a place where you can have a look what career paths are possible in the field of cybersecurity. And they have a heat map of the US, in particular demands for each type of jobs, etc. And it looks similar in Europe as well. I can tell you, you can look at the salary ranges. The salary ranges are similar in Europe as well in the UK, simply because of the demand. Now, having said all that, now there are different ways to get in here. Of course, not all, you don't always need or a degree in cybersecurity is not a requirement for all of them. There are pathways for professionals who have started quite low into the career ladder, and they have come up through the professional route. However, some recent articles that I have read in the opinion of professionals is that once you start going into the mid-level, and in particular into advanced level and management, they are looking for a degree in a cybersecurity relevant subject. And moving up from mid-level, many cases they will be looking at a master's degree in a relevant subject. In addition to that, some career pathways lead through a professional route using professional certifications. For example, if you go through the forensics route, an ACE certification or NCASE will give you a good boost into that. If you're going to the offensive route, a CREST certification in the UK or OSCP internationally, it's coming from the US, will give you a good boost as well. Having said that, all of these jobs will require some level of credibility behind them, either professional career with certification or a relevant degree that you have. However, if I can flip the coin a little bit here, degree alone or certification alone will not get you the job. They might get you shortlisted, but you still have to display and confirm the skills and the knowledge required. And that's one of the first things I also tell my students. Yes, you will get this degree, hopefully, you will graduate. However, you still have to show to your company that you're applying that you know what you're talking about. You still have to demonstrate that you have the knowledge and the skills to do the job. So take your studies seriously, do engage with everything, learn, take advantage of all the learning opportunities that you're giving as part of the course or as part of your degree that you have. Okay, so I hope I kind of addressed that.
Christo, would you be kind enough if you can, it's not very clear to see the link, if you can transfer the link to the chat so any of the audience would like to.
I can post it in the chat, but again, that's not the only one.
No, I know several. Yeah, I know there are several, but just since you mentioned that, maybe it would be helpful to have it in the chat as well.
Yeah, just posted it.
Great, thank you.
There is another one by the UK Cybersecurity Council, which provides an interesting map of the skills required for each of those pathways. So it will show you a map of the different specializations or type of jobs, if you want to call it. And then if you click on it, it will zoom in into the kind of skills and knowledge required for this. And of course, if you Google a bit more, you will find a few extra those.
Sure. Wonderful. Well, thank you very much again. It seems like we are approaching to the end. Time flies. A very interesting presentation, Dr. Panchev, and we thank you for this. As mentioned, this session has been recorded and will be available to our City Unity site for anyone who would like to watch at a later time. Now, due to security issues, we didn't have the opportunity to show the demo that we had planned with Dr. Panchev, right, Christo?
Okay,
So,
but if they join us, they will be doing that themselves.
yes. I don't know if there's any point if we stop recording and spend 2-3 minutes and showing something to whoever is attending now. I don't know if that something that we can do, or just end the session here and move forward.
I think what might be more useful is if anyone has any questions, so we can have a discussion or anything.
Yeah.
Okay. What I will do is, okay, let me stop the recording so you can actually speak freely, everyone.
Yeah.